Deep Dive with David Stendahl, where we trade without ego, no emotion, no greed, and no opinion. Before we begin tonight's video blog, please read over our trading disclaimer and remember to trade smart and accept the reality that trading futures is risky. This presentation does not provide buy-sell recommendations, and our information is strictly provided for educational purposes only. As always, trade at your own risk and analysis. Hey there, it's David Stendahl with tonight's Deep Dive. It is September 4th, 2018. I'm going to take a look at sugar, the ETF CANE, C-A-N-E. A very good ETF if you're going to be looking to trade the sugar market. So let's kind of give a big perspective here and look for what I'm going to be talking about, which is a short-term little top, a little retracement that theoretically should be coming, and then later in September there's a really good trading opportunity. So the short-term, intermediate, and long-term trends are all still pointing to the downside, but the technicals and the seasonal tendencies are pointed to the upside. So this is a positive as far as I'm concerned. Now when we take a look at the patterns, you can see that with today's action that there was a high that occurred here on the flow high, which is basically a short-term profit-taking opportunity. It's not necessarily saying the market's going to reverse course, it's just simply saying that the market has gotten a little ahead of itself. And this is going to be the key right here, that the market theoretically could retrace a little bit, but I think longer term there's great opportunity. So it's a flow high. I just want to show this to you. We have the ability to pull up a lot of the pro alerts. So here is the flow high, and if we come down to sugar, you can see that it's probably about 2/3 the way down, or 1/3 from the bottom here. It's still good. It still has a profit factor in this particular case of about 1.5 or so, a little bit above that, and that's still a very good sign that it's a very profitable pro alert, in indicating that the market is probably going to take a bit of a breather, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a shorting type opportunity. As far as the market, let's take a look at this and then we'll get into where the systems are. So here's daily bars for sugar. You can see that the market has had a bit of a rally. The systems are net long the market right now, although there are some short signals that are out there, so we're actually hedging, but we're still primarily long the market. There's a lot of nothing that's really occurring. We're not in overbought or oversold territory. The energy level, which signifies whether or not we're in a consolidation or an expansive type phase, is kind of in the middle, not really showing us too much. The pro alerts and kind of a longer term trend, it's kind of coincides with what the market is showing us, that the market had been in a trend, and these are daily bars to the downside, and we have a little bit of a pop to the market. So if we take a look at the alert, here is that flow high alert. You can see the market has had a little bit of a rally, and it's saying, hey, this is not a bad time to take some profits, despite the fact that the market was up today and we're long that market. But the positive and negative to this alert is, you can see over here on this bar that we had a flow high, but yet the market still rallied. So it was premature. It was about a little bit halfway, a little bit more than halfway through the potential trend. I'm just going to scroll back and just show you a couple other examples here so you can really get a feel for, sometimes it pegs it on the exact high. Here's a flow high, market reversed course and sold off, and here's another indication that the market rallied, got a flow high, it was premature, it rallied a little bit. Point being, that with sugar, I think that there's going to be an opportunity here for a longer term trade. So these are weekly bars. So every bar here is a weekly bar. You can see that the market had come down. It has a base and it's starting to rally. Let's assume that that flow high on daily bars is midway, maybe 2/3 of the way through the trend. It rallies a little bit further, and then it may kind of retrace a little bit. That retracement, I think, is going to set up for a really good trade. If the market and that flow high on daily bars is accurate and it reverses course, I still think we're going to have the same condition, that any type of a sell-off is going to do nothing more on a weekly bar basis to set up a bit of a consolidation for a longer term long position. So with that as the backdrop, I just want to show this to you as well. If we come back to the market, if we take a look at the seasonal tendencies to sugar here, there's a 5-year, 10, 15, and 20. Right now, 3 of the 4 are actually seasonally accurate. Here's the 5-year, and what we're looking at is this grayish area. Are we in fact in a highly accurate phase? So the 5 years is, the 10 years is not, but the 15 and the 20-year are all in a positive, highly accurate phase. So 3 out of the 4 is telling us that we're looking at an opportunity, some type of a phase where the market could go into a little bit of a consolidation, as the 5 years is actually talking about, but somewhere in the middle of September, we'd be looking for a bit of a rally, at least on the 5 years. So I think that there's longer term, meaning looking at a couple of months, and that's longer term for us, that there's a really good opportunity. I'm going to flip to the 5 years where it's a little more accurate. You can see that a little bit of a sell-off, but yet nonetheless in September, there's a nice little rally. 20 years, it's not as extravagant, if you will, but there's still a rally starting in September and going into October. So there's really an extreme case here where we have an opportunity to make some good money on the long side. I just think that the flow high, that alert that I was talking about, is cautionary. I think that there's going to be opportunity here to be making some money, but there could be a little bit of a retracement short term before the next rally starts to pop up here. So where do we stand with our systems? And this will kind of give you an idea that we have a number of systems that are long and that are short the market. And what we're looking at here is if I sum up all of these conditions, all of these different trades here, that we have 7 that are long, you can count them up yourself, and 3 that are short. So there's a little bit of ambiguity going on here, and that's why I'm really pointing out this flow high that's popping up here. In a few days, if the flow high, as I've been pointing out, reverses right away, then this will kind of clean itself up here a little bit. The market rallies a little bit higher, which technically is what we're looking for and what we'd like to see take place, because we're net long the market with 7 longs and 3 shorts here. That if we get that condition, eventually in a few 4, 5, 6 days or so, there could still be a topping and then a retracement to the market. Either way, I still think that longer term, when we look at the weekly charts, that there's an opportunity here for the market to sort of base and then be able to take advantage of what's going to happen theoretically in the seasonal tendencies in the rally in September into October. And sugar is actually a really good market to trade. So if you trade it with sugar futures, SB, or you can trade it with Cane, C-A-N-E is the name of the ETF, that there's certainly an opportunity here in the near term. So that will at least give you an idea as to what's going on with sugar. The other thing I want to point out, because I don't, I add things every so often to the website. I recently did an interview with Forbes, and they were talking about what I trade and, you know, all the systems and what we're interested in and things of that nature. That I thought that what I would do is kind of go through my philosophy for trading and the way I go about doing certain things. So I won't go through this. I'll probably turn this into a little bit of a presentation, but there's enough here that we go through the different stages that we look for, and specifically what is important to us with our system and our diversification and our systematic approach to the markets. So if you're interested, you just come to resources, trade philosophy, and you can read over this. So with that, watch sugar short term, the systems being long 7, short 3, a little ambiguous as to how things are going to play out in that flow high, that profit taking. But watch how things kind of phase into the middle of September, and then I think that we'll revisit this market and look for an opportunity for the long side. And then obviously read over our trading philosophy just so you get a perspective as to who we are, what we do, and the process that we kind of go through. So with that, thank you very much, and we will take a look at another market tomorrow. Bye-bye.